Hi, welcome to the Midwest. My name is Will. I am going to show you around the region. We will visit the states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. That's a lot of states. We have a whole lot of traveling ahead. First, we'll explore what the land of the Midwest is like. I'll show you some of the biggest lakes and darkest caves that you've ever seen. Then, we'll see what kind of jobs people have in the Midwest. We'll meet some special Midwesterners and see how they live and have fun. I hope you enjoy the trip. Let's go! Chapter 1: The Land. The flattest. The Midwest is the flattest region in the United States. It is the only one with no mountain ranges. The biggest. Nebraska has the biggest area of sand dunes in North America. The dunes are usually covered with grass, but in dry times the grass dies. Then the wind moves the sand dunes slowly, burying anything in their path. The wettest. The Midwest has more lakes than any other region in the country. Minnesota has about 22,000 lakes. Michigan has about 11,000 lakes, and Wisconsin has about 15,000 lakes. Lakes, great and small. We'll begin our travels in Minnesota. We can see lakes everywhere, but it doesn't rain much here. Do you know where all this water came from? Think ice. About 18,000 years ago, all of Minnesota and most of the rest of the Midwest was covered with ice almost 2 miles thick. If you stood on top of that much ice, you would be about 10,000 feet above sea level. A huge mass of ice like that is called a glacier. The glaciers were 10,000 feet thick and thousands of miles across. Imagine all of that ice melting. All of these lakes are what's left of those glaciers. The Great Lakes are the largest group of freshwater lakes in the world. They were once even bigger, back when the glaciers were melting. There are 5 Great Lakes in all. From largest to smallest, they are Lake Superior, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. The biggest one, Lake Superior, is the largest freshwater lake in the world. Flat plains and big rivers. Today, most of our Midwest is flat, but the region wasn't always this flat. Can you guess what scraped and squashed it as flat as a pancake? The glaciers, of course. Glaciers flattened the hills and filled in the valleys. Farmers here thank those glaciers because flat land is easy to farm. The glaciers left behind lots of good soil, too. Look at the map on page 6. You'll see that many big rivers flow through the Midwest. The Ohio River forms a boundary between the Midwest and Southeast. It flows by the states of Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. The Ohio River flows into an even bigger river, the Mississippi. When a smaller river flows into a bigger river, it is called a tributary. The Ohio River is a tributary of the Mississippi River. The biggest tributary of them all is the Missouri River. Early explorers and Native Americans living around here are said to have called it the Big Muddy. The river is thick with mud and carries bits of rock all the way from the Rocky Mountains out west. The Badlands. What do you think a place called the Badlands might be like? We're now in South Dakota's Big Badlands. The landforms here are sharp and jagged. Deep gullies, or long narrow ditches, have been cut into the landscape. The Badlands are very dry. You have to search to find a plant or an animal here. The Native Americans and trappers of long time ago named this area Badlands because it was so hard to cross. This area did not always look like this. Once, lots of animals lived here. There were large cats with enormous fangs called saber-toothed cats. Camels lived here too, but they were about the size of dogs. Do you know how I know all of this? I've seen these animals' fossils. Fossils are the skeletons or remains of ancient plants and animals pressed into rock. You can find fossils of all kinds of plants and animals here. Caves. Now we visit the Wind Cave. You will need to put on a jacket because it's always nice and cool 53 degrees in here. Don't explore here alone. It is one of the bewildering maze caves. It's easy to get lost in it. Over 90 miles of passageways have been explored in this cave. When you explore the cave, hang on to your hats. The wind coming in and going out of the cave can reach 70 miles an hour. Do you know how to whistle? Wind Cave does. The wind going in and out of the mouth of the caves whistle. If you like wind caves, you'll like touring nearly Jewel Cave. It contains one of the longest cave systems, over 110 miles, in the United States. You'll especially like the crystal jewels that decorate the cave's walls. It's the jewels that gave the cave its name. This visit to the caves ends our tour of the land. Let's now travel the highways to see how Midwesterners use the land and the region's many resources.